Hey guys, we've had a few people ask us how do we get into the TRX handstand, and so Stephanie's been working at this quite a bit to learn how to progress and regress this movement. So Mark Cornell brought this movement up a few years ago and really inspired us to take on this challenge and master it. Really, I think we've done a pretty good job at. And so the keys that we want to think about here is mobility and core strength. So you're going to want to mobilize before you start even doing this. So getting those lats open, getting on a foam roller, getting on a ball, something to really mobilize these lats so you're getting some good overhead extension into those arms. Second would be the hamstrings. So again, mobilizing those hamstrings so you're able to lock your legs for our positioning when we get into some of this work is so important. So safety first. I mean, we've got to earn all of these progressions to be able to get that really pretty handstand at the end. And if you're trying to rush into this, then you could definitely risk the injury. So we're going to go into the first part of this, and that is our plank. So Stephanie's going to come down to the ground from her forearms. We're going to own this plank from the bottom position, meaning we're going to really think about, can we be strong in this plank position, because that's what it's going to take when we get to this handstand. So we got a nice straight line happening from the shoulders, the hips, to the ankles. Hiding your ribs, squeezing your butt, making them like apples, and packing those lats. Good, you can go ahead and rest there. You're going to want to work 30 to 45 seconds with minimal fatigue, and then progress next into the pike from the forearms. So again, keeping that strong plank position, we're pulling the hips up overhead, pulling the toes in towards the nose, locking those legs out, hitting that top dead center, and then coming back. Try not to round to that torso. We're trying to hit this straight top position. Then we're going to work our way into the plank from the hand. So again, just taking this next level of this, making sure we're getting comfortable here, having our hands on jars, so we're corkscrewing those hands in to get those lats active. Everything else, glutes fired up, hiding the ribs. Now we're going to take this into the pike from the hands. So setting up that same position we have with the plank, we're pulling those hips over the head, toes towards the nose, hips over the head, chest towards the toes. Think about those positions. When you can pull those toes towards your nose and push your chest towards your toes, then you'll hit that top dead position, which is crucial for our headstand or handstand later. So once we get those, we're going to now take this into our headstand. We see a lot of people using their heads as a stability point. We don't want to do that. That can create a lot of neck tension and low back pain, but we're trying to minimize that axial loading. So Stephanie here is placing her head onto the ground, her hands just shoulder width apart or a little bit wider, and then she's going to go ahead and extend her legs out to that plank. Then from here, she's pulling those hips up overhead, hitting this top dead position. Get comfortable here. Brace those abs. Once you're stable here, then we can get to this first part of this headstand, is taking our hands or feet overhead and owning this top position. Once you know where top dead center is, by taking out some of this slack, you're just using those straps for safety. You can return by pressing your feet back into the straps, taking them out slowly, and returning back down into that plank position. So practice that, own that, get really, really good at that. Then, once you get that, we can now move on into the forearm stand. So yes, we're taking it back down to the forearms, but this is because we're trying to work on that shoulder mobility, that lat mobility, as well as our plank stability into that core. So from here, Stephanie's going to pull her hips over her head just like she did into that forearm pike earlier, but not letting that her crown of her head touch. And then we're taking those feet out and around again, hitting that top dead position, having great open shoulders, great open chest, keeping those abs active, and using our feet into the straps. But again, you can work out of this, creating a little slack, finding where top dead center's at. Then you can place your feet back in, find it, then come out of it. Own it by moving slowly, not throwing yourself up into it, and not throwing yourself down out of it. Get really good at that, because the next level is the handstand. So this is where we're going to take this. You're going to work all those until you get a professional at that level. Then when you get to this next phase, this is what's really important. So you're going to pull yourself away from this anchor point about a foot. That's what Mark Cornell suggests, that we want to have enough tension onto these straps to when we begin, because that's going to allow us to get to this top dead vertical position here. So with Stephanie grabbing the ground, activating those lats, she's going to hit this plank position. Then she's going to pull her hips up over her head like she did into that hand pike earlier. Once she's there, then she's taking her feet out away from her body and then hitting that beautiful top dead position. So here, you can play with this position once you own it. So you're hiding your ribs, you're pressing your hands down into the ground, really activating those lats, and then you can come out of this slowly by taking those feet out around. Again, not throwing yourself out of it or into it, but the slower you can go, the more benefit you will get from this. So here you go. That's your recipe. I really hope you guys can utilize this information here and hit this elusive handstand for many people. Practice makes perfect. So Stephanie's going to show us one more time here what it really takes to get to this top dead position, owning that plank in the torso, bringing those feet up. Now once you get good here, you can play around like Stephanie. She's messed around with this enough to make it really pretty, to have her own flavor that she adds to it. She's got monkey toes, so she can switch your feet in and out from that position at any time. So being able to get comfortable, keep that plank, and then come out and into this really slowly will help you get stronger, be better.
Just that easy, right?
Just that easy. So guys, thank you very much for checking this out. Feel free to message me if you have any questions, or even Stephanie, because she's got a lot of experience with this. But please, please, please be safe, earn each progression, mobilize, and have fun.
Tag us in your videos. Show us what you've got, show us where you're at, and ask us any questions that we can help you out with.
There you go. Go earn it.